Hi folks, nice to be out. This time we're on the grass. It's a hillside field. Well, this is actually at the very top of the hill. Down that side there's some ridge and furrow. I'll probably head that way eventually. But at the moment we don't have any sheep in the field, so I've got freedom to roam anywhere I like. So anyway, I've just had a first signal down here in the 30s, and not a bad little find either. It's probably about, that's probably 8 or 9 inches deep. I've got a cartwheel penny. That's not bad for a first signal, is it? Quite lucky really. They're usually very warm, but any of you who have found these before will know that. Is it going to focus? We'll have a closer look at that later on. I think these date from 1797 if I'm correct. Brilliant. This is a very high pitched signal. It's reading from low 20s up to 30, 33 there. It might turn out to be junk. There's a bit of iron around it as well. It seems to be fairly deep. I'll give it a go if I can pinpoint it. Yeah, there's another bit of iron there. Not too sure about this one. I'm fairly close to the road here, so they're going to get some car noise, unfortunately. I'm using the 15-inch coil on the Equinox Field 1. Recovery speed 4 at the moment. That may change. Oh, that should be deep enough, surely. Oh, crikey. I seem to have lost the signal there. Is it something that's broken up, perhaps? Right, I'm going to investigate that anyway. Aha. We have a find. So whatever that is, very small, very green. Don't know if it's remains of a button or whether it's possibly a farthing or something like that. Oh well, we found it anyway, that's good. We'll have a close look at that later on in the video. Hope it's not a button. I've gridded a bit of this area up along the top edge of this field. Not many signals. I had a ring pull. Fabulous, eh? Just had a 16 signal in this hole. Didn't sound overly fantastic actually. I thought it might have been a shotty, but I'm pleased to say it's a coin. It's George the VI. It's in a bit of a crusty state, unfortunately. I think it's a half crown. Looks like it's Cooper nickel. No silver, I don't think. 1951. That's only the second half crown I've ever found, actually. The last one was a George V, which is quite a nice coin, but only 50% silver. But I don't think there's anything in that by the look of that. Excuse me. I've moved further away from the ridge and furrow at the other end of the field, over in that direction. Just for a bit of a change. I wasn't finding an awful lot really. We had a 16 signal in this hole here. It was actually just in the corner over there. Wasn't sure what it was going to be. Obviously could have been a button or something or other, but anyway, it's one of these. Part of a, well, either a buckle or part of a buckle, I'm not sure. It doesn't appear to be broken though, so I'm not 100% on that one. I'm guessing post-medieval, but I haven't seen one like this before, so not 100% sure, but I think that's probably what it's going to turn out to be. Yeah, what would that have been used for? It's quite lightweight, isn't it? So, I don't know. Clothing, a hat or something or other. Yeah. Well, I jumped fields, folks. I got a bit fed up on the grass. I wasn't finding an awful lot, really. So I'm a couple of fields away now, and I've been here about an hour and a half, and again I've not found much today. It's been a bit of a struggle, but you do get days like that. I've had a couple of coins since the last bit of video, but nothing. Well, one of them extremely warm, probably a Georgian coin. Here's a couple of other bits that I found. I thought I'd just sort of show you them. I think that's made of copper, some sort of suspension loop, I think. First of all, I thought it was a watch winder, but it isn't, obviously. Sorry if the video's a bit jittery in this one. I'm just doing this handheld at the moment, so I don't know if that's Victorian, Georgian, or older. But we'll have a closer look at that later on. Just as I was walking across the field here, back towards the car, I spotted this on the surface. It's very thin. It's not bulbous like they normally are, but I think that's been worked. A nice bit of flint. I love finding bits of flint. I've probably got a few pieces so far, but I don't know if that would have been, I don't know, a scrape. I don't think it's a scrape. It looks, I don't know, it looks a bit thin for that. Would it have been a cutting tool or an arrowhead? Or it's not a typical arrowhead shape though, is it? It's more of a leaf shape, this one. That's interesting, that lovely colour. Right, I'm back out. This is another day, and I've been here 2.5 hours, and I'm struggling again. What's going on? Sometimes it just doesn't go your way, does it? I spent a fair bit of time in a bottom field down there, and just several shotties are completely worn through. Excuse me, Georgian halfpenny. Yeah, that's pretty much it really. So I've come back up to the top field again, up to the high field, and I've just had a find. This was reading about 23, it's about 7 inches deep. I've already had it out obviously and given it a bit of a clean. But we have a hold coin. Now I'm not sure, but I think that might be Edward VII. Is it a penny? I think it's probably a penny. Not in brilliant condition, but I'll take that. I'm actually not far away from where I had that Victorian pendant in the last video. I'm in the same area. I wonder if I found someone's collection. I've been gridding this field in front of that bush there, probably 15 feet inwards, is where I found the wrong coin. But I haven't found any others. I've had some shotgun caps, similar signals. Anyway, we just had a 22, 23 signal down here, nice and loud, and we have another find, I'm pleased to say. Let me just turn around in the sunlight. Got a buckle, quite a nice one I think as well. Yeah, it's got some nice decoration on it. So we'll have a look at that later on. Possibly 1700s. It's got the curved shape, hasn't it? A bit like a shoe buckle, but it's quite small, so I'm not sure. Maybe a hat buckle. Yeah, I'll give that a clean up. Great stuff. I'm slowly but surely working my way towards the top end, well, the middle towards the top end of this field. I've done that bit before in previous videos. Right, I've had some more shotgun caps. I've had a shallow signal down here, just there. It was only reading 7, and this is what we've got. Now, I couldn't work out what it was at first, but I reckon that could be part of a ring. Obviously busted. Don't know what metal it is. It's got a slightly silvery colour. Could be pewter, could be copper alloy, could be silver, but I'm really not sure. But it's quite roughly made. There's a gap there for a stone or something or other, and it looks quite coarse and cumbersome, but I'm not sure. Don't know what metal it is, don't know how old it is. I'd love it to be very old, but I don't know. I don't know, it has a silvery look to it, but I think there's some reddish bits as well on the back, so maybe it's some sort of alloy. But it's interesting either way. Hello folks, and thanks for joining me for the roundup. As usual, with my detecting, I like to pick up a few potsherds, and there's a fair few pieces there for us to look at. So I think the majority of them probably Roman. That's a rather unusual piece. It's extremely coarse to touch. Got some decoration along there, so I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if that's Roman or something else. With a nice rim piece there, grey ware or black burnished ware. There's that. Another rim piece, I think. Yeah, again quite coarse that one. That's quite coarse. Don't know about that one. Probably a lot later, but it's just one side of it appears to have been glazed. It's probably much more recent, but I'm afraid I haven't a clue with that. Piece of red potsherd there. Doesn't seem to be glazed, so I don't know where that's from. Robbie Cole, if you're watching this, I think you will be at some point, hopefully. Maybe you can shed some light on that. I don't know if that's Samian ware. I would have thought Samian ware would all be glazed, but I really don't know. Perhaps you can help me out, Rob, if you don't mind. Quite a few buttons as usual. That's actually an iron one. A bit strange, isn't it? Some very worn coins here. Can't really ID these, I'm afraid, but they're probably Georgian coins. That's extremely... Whoops. I've lost it now anyway. It's extremely crusty. Another very warm one there. As of these, again, they're probably George I, George II. I think that's actually a George III. Somewhere, I thought I could make out his bust. I think that's him facing right. The cartwheel penny, unfortunately, is pretty much toasted. Not a lot on there. You can just make out the bust. 1797, I think. Yeah, the back's a mess as well. Most of these coins are toasted, unfortunately, and I'm pretty sure that's Edward VII. It's a 1 penny being made into a medallion of some sorts. Can't get the date off it, but it's going to be around about 1902-ish, 1903, something like that. Another crusty coin, George V this time, nothing special. That was a half crown. It's a right old state, is that? Very pitted. I don't think it's worth bothering with, to be fair. Which is a shame, but not to worry. I think that was 1951. There we go. This one, excuse me, that was a nice surprise. It's a George IV halfpenny from the 1820s. Again, very pitty, very crusty, but you get what you get. The little one that I dug up is a George II farthing, and just make out a bust facing to the left. Nothing on the back, unfortunately, but that's that. Now, the little Roman coin, I got some help with the ID from 2 different sources. One of them, Dr. Simon Mazin off Twitter, and that's Corrosius, and that dates from, I think it's 286 to 293 AD. So although it's a broken coin, the bust actually on it, that's not bad at all really, is it? So I'm quite happy with that. you can just make out a figure there facing to the left. So that was a lovely find, only a 7 signal as well. I mean, as I said, I actually walked away from it thinking it's more junk, but I thought, no, I better go back and double check, and I'm so glad I did. These low numbers, folks, they're the ones, they're the interesting ones. Not sure on that, I haven't got an ID for it, to be fair, but I don't think it's anything special. Maybe half a buckle. Really not sure with that, but probably 1700s. This one could be late 1600s into the 1700s. I haven't got an ID for that one either. Some similar ones, but nothing with that sort of decoration on. Not that I've seen anyway. Could be a hat buckle. I suppose it could be a shoe buckle, but it would be a small one, wouldn't it? But that was still nice to find, that one. I don't know what that is, but it's pressed metal. Oh, I even cleaned it, look. How dirty is that? It's pressed metal, so I'm guessing that's going to be Victorian. There's always a suspension loop there for something or other, but I'm afraid I don't know what. Oh, I think that's just a bit of flint that I spotted on the surface. Don't think that's anything in particular. No, don't think so. This was an absolutely cracking find. I was feeling a bit fed up walking back to the car after digging rubbish, and that is a Neolithic leaf-shaped arrowhead. Now that's going to date from around 4000 BC to around 2350 BC. So that could be 6,000 years old. So that's, obviously it's missing a piece off the bottom here and a bit off the top. But that's just a absolutely belting find, and I'm delighted with that. That's a beauty. Don't think you find that, well, I don't find these very often anyway. I love that, I really do. And last but not least, I've had a good look on the Portable Antiquities website scheme, even the Portable Antiquities scheme website, and that is, I'm almost 100% sure that's going to be a Roman ring, a copper alloy Roman ring. Looks silvery in colour, but I think it's just the alloy. There would have been an intaglio or a stone in the centre. That's obviously fallen out at some point in its life. It's got some copper corrosion on the bottom there. You can see some flecks of red as well. So one side of the band is, can I get this to focus? One side of the band's fairly thick and chunky, and the other side is actually quite thin. So it's fairly crudely made, and going by the size of it, I think that's probably a man's ring. But that's my first ever Roman ring, well, ring fragment I should say, so I'm really, really chuffed to bits with that, folks. So that was, the first day was 7 hours detecting, and I had about 7 minutes of video from that. So, not many signals at all. I think it was 13 hours in total. Quite a few buttons, a fair few coins, but crusty ones. But the top row, they're really nice finds. I'm very happy with those. Is it harder up north detecting? I don't know. I just don't seem to get as many finds, I suppose, unless you hit, you know, a hot spot. I mean, I have in some of the earlier videos, so I really can't complain, can I really? Well, thanks very much for watching, folks. If you're going detecting, good luck, happy hunting, and we'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.